Alright, good morning everybody. Although I didn't need to go to the mikveh, but I felt like after making that video I should have gone to the mikveh, but I didn't have time. I only have 5 minutes to spare, and maybe 20 minutes if something if need be, and it would take more than 20 minutes. It would take probably just about 20 minutes to go to the mikveh, and I don't want to come in late. I should have gotten up a little earlier, but it is what it is. And Baruch Hashem, I went yesterday to mikveh. But on this long trip, about halfway there, a little less than halfway there, I can go to the mikveh. So that's the but only in the daytime. And now that it gets dark so early, don't have the opportunity. I davened already. Just really finished davening. I didn't see L'tzion yet, but oh no, I did. I think I finished everything. I don't know. I'll say it again anyway after probably not or after this video. But I want to make a Segula video. A Segula specifically because this week is parshas vayishlach, and parshas vayishlach is a known Segula when traveling. So I wanted to by talking about this, I think we'll be able to use it as a Segula for the travels, and maybe we have a little kvitzas and derech also. Maybe we can talk about that also, although that's more connected to parshas Chayesara. But it's a fascinating Segula minhag, let's say Shabbos, to read the first four aliyos until Chamishi of parshas vayishlach every Motzei Shabbos, and the Riyah Kodesh said it's really only when you're traveling. It's not every Motzei Shabbos, because it's an issue of reciting psukim at night. But then, we have also interesting thing, that there was a story by Satmarov. He did not say vayishlach for most of his life, I'll say. He did not say parshas vayishlach every Motzei Shabbos. Only, like the Riyah Kodesh says, when he's planning to go on a trip, he's going to the country, he'll say vayishlach. What I once heard is it's related to tefillas haderech. That if you're going to say tefillas haderech, if you're traveling far enough to say tefillas haderech at some point during the week, which I do every day pretty much, then you should be saying vayishlach. And some people say, well, no, you're only saying tefillas haderech when you're I'll say tefillas haderech in the Shemona Esrei by Shema Koleinu, is when I say tefillas haderech just about every day in Shema Koleinu, unless I know I'm just not going anywhere the whole day, which is a rare thing. But I live out in the country, and I remember a friend of mine saying, no, even going up to the country, it's not far enough to say tefillas haderech, because it's all one continuous area. But the thing is, and there's yishuv the whole way. But I see where I am right now. There's no yishuv here. I guess over there you can see the yishuv, but it's, but this, I'm right near Wilkes-Barre right now, which is a yishuv, and also was heist a yishuv, a Yiddish yishuv, a Goyish yishuv. Also, that's what to ask, but I'm right now I'm in the midbar. You know, I mean, I don't mean a desert, but I mean there's you know, we'd be going outside Tchum Shabbos. You know, I think that's maybe if you have 3 miles with no Tchum Shabbos, with no, then you already should be saying Tfilas Haderech, and if you know you're traveling like that, so you should say Motzei Shabbos, you should say parshas vayishlach. So Samarav, he was once in the car as a passenger, and there was someone like a fender bender, and from then on he was makabel to always say parshas vayishlach every Motzei Shabbos, because these days we're traveling always in the car, and maybe it's even a shtickle more a sakona than it was in a Mulligan site. So because of that, the Samarov himself was noig to say parshas vayishlach every Motzei Shabbos. Now the Indian of saying parshas vayishlach and really studying parshas vayishlach, I would say the way I understand it is connected to the way Chazal would approach their shtadlonis that they would be involved in. When the Tanoim would have to go and meet with the Roman government, they would learn parshas vayishlach. They felt that from parshas vayishlach they're going to get guidance about the proper way to approach the shtadlonis that they're working on with the government. So, that's something to discuss. That in Parshas Vayishlach you can learn how we interact with the rest of the world, how Jacob interacted with Esau. And there's what to discuss with that, but how is that exactly connected to Shmira B'derech? It's an interesting question. A lot of people have a minhag when after they say Tfilas Haderech, that they say the last 2 psukim from Parshas Vayetze, which really are a precursor to Parshas Vayishlach. So there's what to discuss there. And I think maybe we could look at the different views that the different approaches have had as far as this is concerned, and how different interpretations have been over the years. And also my own chidushim on Parshas Vayishlach, how I look at Parshas Vayishlach as Maisa Avos U'Labanim in today's day, and it's somewhat connected to what we were discussing before. Kabbalistically. So there's really a hemshach between the previous parsha and this part, the previous video and this video. And it's only 9 minutes so far. Maybe we could keep it short, and someone will actually watch it. So, first of all, at the end of Parshas Vayetze, we see Vayelech Yaakov L'Darko, V'yifku Boi Malachi Elokim, V'yomer Yaakov ka'asher ra'ah machanei elokim zeh v'yikra shem ha'makom ahu machanoim. Holach Yaakov v'darkei yivku b'malach elokim. Jacob went on his way, and he encountered. It's interesting that the same term that we had at the beginning of parshas vayishlach, vayifka b'makom, and he happened upon the place, and we say that it's a reference to Har Moriah, to Har Bias, and all of the aspects that are connected with that. So you have that same term that he happened upon the angels of God, and it was when he saw Kasher Ra'am, he said, Machne Elokim Zeh, this is the camp of God, and he called the name of the place Machanoim, which is the plural for camps. I know in my neighborhood there's a Christian camp called Machanoim, and I was surprised when I saw it, but then I saw the cross on it, and I recognized, because first I thought it was a Jewish camp, it was called Machanoim, and then I recognized that it was a Christian camp, and it was funny because there was a certain Rosh Hashiva who has a home near there, and he has retreats there at his home. It was a large home that he built, not there at the Christian camp, but about a mile away from there. And Rosh Hashiva I've known for many years, and he said, as a landmark, you're going to pass Machanoim. Probably they pronounce it Mehineim or something like that, but. Or Mahanaim, or I don't know how they pronounce it, but it was funny, that we both noticed that Hasidic Rosh Hashiva, a very kosher Rav. So we'll go back to what we're talking about there. So I wanted to discuss, I made one video. If people want to see it, this is a video I don't think should be published, but write to me if you want to see it, and maybe I'll send you the link. If you want to share it, I'm not going to say no, but I'd like to. I'm talking about Parshas Vayetze, a video I made last week, and I don't know if it's such a good video anyway, but discussing the term Memra Hashem and the comparison to the Greek concept of logos that Philo discussed, and some other religions picked up theology around it. And its possible roots in Jewish thought, but also, I was worried that the video could be used the wrong way, but the fact is that I was trying to really refute the missionary stance. I don't know if I did such a good job. And I discussed with one of my rebbeim about this afterwards. If you want to see that video, you write to me, and I'll send you the link. The only problem is now you can't share directly on YouTube, which is a shame because I like doing that. I'll figure out how to get it to you, or maybe I'll put it up publicly if you think it's not going to do that much damage. I don't know. So. Excuse me. I've been looking at Bookless a lot, and I'm trying to decide whether, and I've discussed this with a few rabbis, is there really a machlokes between Rashi and Onkelos here? In this pasuk, and let's just mention something before we continue. V'yomer Yaakov kasher ra'am. The Sfarim say that when you say this pasuk after Tfilas Haderech, you should have in mind Ra'am stands Reish Aleph Mem stands for Rafal Uriel Michal, and you should picture in your mind these angels. We know Rafal is behind us, and Michael is to the right of us, and Uriel is in front of us. And then when you say Machanei Elokim Zeh, that Elokim is Midas Hadin, Pura, and so you should picture Gavriel on the left side. Just a bit of Indian there. But there, Onkelos, where it says Malach Elokim, it says Malachaya. Angels, right? And then when it says in vayishlach Yaakov Malachim Levonav, Arza Seir Sdei Ado, that he sent Malachim in front of him. So Onkelos renders it as Dagin, which means messengers, meaning human messengers, he sent. And not angels. Whereas Rashi has an ambiguous two words there, malachim mamish. Literally malachim. But which is it? Is it literally messengers or literally angels? We can leave that as being something that's a question. That's an ambiguity. Most people I know understand it as the Zohar Kodesh understands it, that malachim mamish means malachaya, means angels. And so it would seem that Rashi therefore is arguing against Onkelos, and it would make sense, because otherwise he would say Kesarguma is Dagin. That he would quote the Targum if he understood it the way the Targum Onkelos understands it. The Targum Onkelos clearly does not understand it to be angels, because he uses a different word, and so therefore it would be back to what we were saying. It would be Malachim Mamish would be angels, and the Zohar Kodesh has a whole discussion about that, linking the end of Vayetzik to the beginning of vayishlach, and saying, of course, those angels that he encountered were the angels that he sent. And that's brought in the Chavli Yisrael. Elu ve'elu divrei Kimchaim. To have a machlokes for showing him in a lot of things, so we're okay. Elu ve'elu, even though it really doesn't mean that, but we can use it in the colloquial sense. So after we're discussing this, let's get into this question of whether it's angels or messengers, and the answer that we have is might be angels, might be messengers. That's the answer. So then as we go a little further, we can discuss this question. The other question is not so much angels versus messengers, but what is vayishlach about? What's the ma'isa of a similar bonim? That it's also shmira b'derech. So the shmira b'derech is also with the angels. God sends his angels, guardian angels, to protect us as we travel. That is certainly a Jewish idea, and we say that another pasuk that we will generally consider when discussing traveling is Ki malacha v'yitzavalach l'shmorcha b'chol derechecha, and the Kabbalah say that the Sofei Tevos spell out divine names that are segula for shmira b'derech, and that's from Psalm 91, for he commands his angels to protect you in all your ways. I always like to, in my own homiletical approach, and I'm sure there's a medrash or a zohar or someone that compares these to psukim, but the pasuk in Tehillim in Psalm 91, Ki malacha v'yitzavalach l'shmorcha b'chol derechecha, we should attach to a pasuk in Mishlei in Proverbs, b'chol derechecha, I think it's Proverbs 8, b'chol derechecha deyehu yasher achasecha, you should know him in all your ways, and he will make your paths straight. So that connection between b'chol derechecha and b'chol derechecha, that God and how they form a circle. That if you know God, He will make in all your ways, that He will make your ways straight, and He will command His angels to guard you in all your ways, and again you'll know Him in all your ways, and it's a vicious circle. When we discuss this issue, then we'll go a little further, and this is where we get to the point where people might get offended, but I don't care. You shouldn't be offended. You can disagree with me. Please disagree with me. And we can discuss it, but don't get offended. And I don't mean to offend anybody. And I understand there are many very good, pious, religious Zionists who have their view about Israel and Zionism, and I have a different view. But I still respect the state of Israel as an American ally. I would rather not call itself a Jewish state, but I recognize Israel as a valuable ally, just like Japan and England and anywhere else. But in addition to that, it happens to be occupying the holy land of my religion, which we can have different discussions here and there about the significance of that. But if parshas vayishlach is the ma'isa of a similar bonim of Golus, the parshas vayetze is the ma'isa of a similar bonim of Golus, then vayishlach is the ma'isa of a similar bonim for the ikvus and mashiach and for the aschal to the geula. And how to exactly approach that, and approaching the Geula and the end of Golus. And how we approach that. And I truly believe that, and I've believed this for a long time, that the encounter that Vayevek Ishimo, Yaakov Levado, Jacob was left all alone, and a man wrestled with him, Ala Lois Hashachar, until the morning, and he damaged him, this man whom he wrestled with, the Medrash connects V'niskav Hashem Levadei B'Yamahu with this V'Vasa Yaakov Levado. We can discuss what that means, but I'm not going to right now. And we attach back to this. Excuse me. Who was this Ish? Who was this man that he was fighting with? That he was wrestling with? And we say it's Sarah Shel Esav. It was the angel who was, how we read in the book of Daniel of Sar Paras, that there's the prince of Persia, there are angels of different nations. So the guardian angel of Esau, of Edom, was the one that wrestled with Jacob. And we know that the angel of Edom is the Samach Mem, is the devil, Satan, Satan. And it's curious to me that he is the one who gives Jacob the name Israel. And how Savarov spoke of the founding of the state of Israel as Maisa Sota, as the work of the devil, or as a satanic work. I mean, obviously God did it, but meaning that it's there for a satanic purpose, meaning Sidnoi, meaning just like it says that the angel came to be a barrier and a stumbling block for Bilam, and the word Satan is used there as a verb. Satanic is an adjective, but Satanic, I guess, would be a verb, Sidnoi. And an angel can do this, or others can do it. It's also a noun, Hasatan, the one who does this verb, the Satan. And all the curiosity that's connected with all of that. Excuse me. So, all these things are interesting to discuss. But it was the Satan who gave the name Israel to Jacob. And is that some kind of a reference to the modern state of Israel being a satanic creation? And only later, and then Jacob, he goes over the river. Is that, I think, might represent in some ways, coming to America. After the war, Jewish community coming to America, and before the war there were Jews in America too. My Jewish family was all in America before the war, and some for almost 100 years before the war. Significance of that. Which we can set aside for a bit. And let's just talk a little bit about that, of how after the Ma'aseh of Dinah is when God tells Jacob to remove all the idols. And then finally, God now gives the name Israel. and he builds the altar, and is that a representation prophetically Ma'aseh Avos Labanim of the building of the Beis Hamikdash, the coming of Mashiach, and so forth. And the fascinating part of it, though, is that this is after Ma'aseh Dina, and we know that in Kabbalah, the sphere of Yesod comes before the sphere of Malchus, and Malchus obviously represents Malchus Beis David and Mashiach. Interesting that Yosef Tzaddik marries the daughter of Dina, according to some Midrashim. So this has a connection to the Makor of Menashe and Ephraim, the tribes of Yosef Tzaddik. And back to the previous subject that we discussed, of how in this generation we have this difficulty with the Midah of Yesod, and how difficult it is to deal with it, and how we have to make a tikkun on Yesod before we can have the tikkun on Malchus. That there has to be the tikkun on Yesod before Mashiach can come. And so we have before that this issue. So that should give us hope. All the difficulties that we're seeing with these issues in this generation, and that how we have to make the tikkun on the Midah of Yesod, and then we can be. And this, I remember Rabbi Weinberger talking to us about this 20 years ago again, and the importance of capturing this and making and recognizing these issues of the Midah of Yesod and then the Midah of Malchus, and the connections that exist between these Midos. So these are things also to discuss. So and I know again it's offensive when I mention this, of the issue of the Indian of Medinas Yisrael and Ma'aseh Satan, and the Satan giving the name Yisrael to Yaakov, and only later when they built the Mizbeach, and Hashem gives the name Yisrael to Yaakov, and it's obviously a different thing. You know, the secularists are going to say it's two different stories, and it's a contradiction, and this and that, and why is he getting and so it's two different authors, and why is the name given twice? And that's all apikorsis, and that's all Ma'aseh Satan itself. And the truth is that it's to teach us the lesson that there's two concepts, and it goes back to what I've discussed many times, and I've discussed with some of my very beloved students and friends, of this issue of there being two Israels, or maybe more than two, but there's the real Israel and the imaginary Israel. You know, someone like Ben Shapiro saying, well, Israel is not a racist state because it's based on the ideology of Judaism and not on the race of Judaism, and that there are Jews of different races. But the fact of the matter is that the founders of the state of Israel were extremely racist against Jews, who were racially different, and also the founders of the state of Israel didn't give a damn about the ideology of Judaism. They were anti-religious, Marxist people, left-wing people. And how to deal with that? And of course, Meir Kahane had his cognitive dissonance, where he said it doesn't matter that the founders of the state of Israel were evil people, because this was by divine providence, and this was God's plan all along, and something like that. You should still say Hallel with a bracha on Heir, and obviously I disagree with that, but I still have respect for Meir Kahane. I think he had something to him. Always loved him. Didn't know, and I never fully agreed with him, particularly about this issue. When it came to this issue of should we say Hallel on Heir, should we be waving Israeli flag? And I know a lot of Kahanists who call themselves Kahanists call themselves anti-Zionist Kahanists because they were so disillusioned with the state of Israel, how it is, and pretty upset about it. And they lived there for a while, and they saw how difficult it was. And the state of Israel hates the Kahanists. So why should the Kahanists love the state of Israel back? So, of course, not all Zionists are Kahanists, although I say, my wife says the same thing. At least the Kahanists are intellectually honest about their Zionism, which I don't think most Zionists are. I think most Zionists are living, I mean, still Kahana, like I said, had cognitive dissonance, but much less than, I would say, the vast majority of non-Kahanist religious Zionists. You know, I think the Kahanist religious Zionists are the most intellectually honest religious Zionists, and I love them. And I think most of them, though, are ignorant, but every now and then you come across one who's a shtickler halacha, like their Rebbe Meir was. And most of them. But the thing was, he had so much Ahavas Yisrael, he attracted a lot of people who maybe were not the biggest people, and the same thing with all the tzaddikim. You know, I mean, you look at the Sabra community is very balabatish, and that's because the Sabra Rav's Ahavas Yisrael. You know. Enough, so we should all be safe on all our travels. I remember one time I was at a concert by Rebbe Weinberger. I think Chaim David Sarachik was there, so was inside, and someone who I went to school with, he came in and he was shook up because he was just in a little car accident, and I told him it was Motzei Shabbos, he should makabel himself to say parshas vayishlach. And I think after that I was makabel myself also always to say parshas vayishlach. I mean, if you're sitting in yeshiva and you're not going anywhere, you're not going on any tilulim, you don't have to say it. But if you're but a guy like me, a balabas, travels a lot, and is Isaac and being malad and soitzes and fremde plätze, I have to, that's what I'm doing now. I really didn't want to go today. I was not in the mood, but I'm going, and I'm happy I'm going. It's love Tinepis. So, thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe, comment, and have safe trips wherever you go. Guard you. Send his angels to guard you in all of your ways. And in all your ways you should acknowledge God, know God, have a connection to God, and God will straighten your paths. God will send you where you gotta go. As long as you know God, where you're going, wherever you go, God will make sure you're going where you're supposed to be. And if you wind up somewhere where you think you're not supposed to be, and you can do tshuva also, and that's also part of God's plan. Not supposed to go there on purpose, but sometimes you wind up somewhere. And then you can be mild and soitzes in a way you can't imagine. But you can't do it on purpose. You know. But you have to recognize when things happen, they happen for a reason. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe, comment. If you made this far, why don't you hit the bell button and get notifications whenever I make new videos. Tell me if you want a copy of that video about the Memra, or if you think I should just make it public. I want to, mention that in the comments below if you're interested in that. I think it might do more damage than good because it's very easily misinterpreted. And I don't mean it to be misinterpreted. If anything, I'll add to the end what one of my rebbeim that said about it, that uncles want to always avoid any anthropomorphism. So I said, what kind of anthropomorphism is it to say that the Lord is my God? And I said, even to have a relationship with God is an anthropomorphism, and that's why you need this idea of memra. And the memra is the Torah, which abricha arais of Yisrael chadhu. Right? Remember, aren't you afraid of the beers? Alright, because I'm passing by, it's the Youngling Brewery Tour sign. 126. Hashem is one. I'm at mile 126 right now. Hashem is one. Hashem echad. It's really everything's one. Everything's all God. Alright. So thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, comment. See you later. Remember what Rabbi Partzadok said in the videos. Look at when you're driving, you look at the license plates, look at the numbers around you, look at everything, and try to see gematrias and things in there. Alright. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe, comment. See you all later.